kind of low. Am I low?
Good evening, everybody.
Okay. Whoop.
Oh, that was beautiful. Welcome to the December 14th Governing Board meeting for the Glendale Elementary School District, the last Governing Board meeting of 2023. So we're going to get through this, guys. Please let the minutes show that all 5 board members are present and accounted for. Ms. Segato-Jones, is there any changes to the agenda this evening?
Good evening, President Martinez, members of the board. No, there are not.
All right. And with that, is there a motion to adopt the agenda?
I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda.
Second.
All right. Mr. Jaramillo, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Wilson, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Pimentel, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Bartels, how do you vote?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Thank you. Please join me in a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. There is a call to the public this evening. So at this moment, the public is invited to address the board on any issues within its jurisdiction, subject to reasonable time, place, and manner restrictions. Governing board members are not permitted to discuss or take legal action on matters raised during open call to the public unless the matters are properly noticed for discussion and legal action. However, the law permits board members to do the following at the conclusion of open call to the public. A, respond to criticism made by those who have addressed the board. B, ask staff to review a matter. Or C, ask that a matter be put on a future agenda. Those wishing to address the board should complete a call to the public form and submit it to the board secretary prior to the start of the meeting. Each speaker will be provided 3 minutes to address the board unless provided other direction by the board. At the outset of the speaker's remark, the speaker should state his or her name. Ms. Elizabeth Seifter.
Good evening, Board President Martinez, members of the board, Superintendent Segato-Jones. My name is Elizabeth Seifter, and I'm the current president of the Glendale Education Association. This will be very short. GEA would like to see item J pulled from the consent agenda and information be presented to the public about the benefits of leasing public school building to the Bezos Academy. While Arizona is battling privatization on education, we think it's important that all facts are given to the public pertaining to how this would benefit our public school district before it is voted on. GEA currently does not have a stance either way, if it's a great thing or something we should be concerned about. We just think that information should be provided before a vote. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Moving on in our agenda, our special recognition, Ms. Segato-Jones.
Yes, President Martinez, members of the board, we have several recognitions tonight, so if we can step down and we can begin the celebrations. Take this with me. And then Ricky's going to do the pictures too. Oh, I'm sorry. Good evening. For those of you that are joining us for the first time and those of you watching, every month we do a Just Because, and we are very proud of all of our employees and happy that they choose GESD, as well as our students and families. So on behalf of Gusto, our foundation, we're able to select randomly one employee of the month and one student of the month to recognize as Just Because and say thank you for continuing to choose a GSD. So tonight we will begin with our employee, and our employee is Maria Hernandez, and she is a cleaner at Challenger School. So Maria, come up. I got the pleasure of Congratulations, Maria. Could I have, as Maria's getting her things, Challenger family come up, please, and we can take some pictures? Thank you, Mr. Hortzman.
No, you got to come
Over here. Por favor, señora. And then Enrique is going to be our picture taker as well, all right? Two jobs. And Maria, I'll come by tonight and you put this in your front yard and I'll honk and you wave at me, okay? And see this.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Gracias, señora. And I believe our student, Aiden Rodriguez from Desert Spirit, is he present or not? No. Can you come up, please? Pardon me? Okay, yeah, a lot of things going around, but could I please have Desert Spirit come up and accept it on behalf of him? He was very excited about it when I visited him the other day. He was. But we know there's a lot of little bugs going around right now. So I know, Ms. Carrillo, you will make sure that he gets it?
I will.
And we'll take a picture anyway?
Yes.
And then we'll insert him in there.
Yes, we'll Photoshop them in our
Enrique,
lab.
Enrique, por favor.
Por favor, una más.
Una foto.
2 jobs, remember? 2 jobs.
3 jobs. Oh, and the child is not here, so you'll have to impose him.
Yes. Yes.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you. Now we're going to, I want to introduce Mr. Pat Kaiser. He is the president of Kiwanis, and each month the principals submit a student of the month that they believe shows great service leadership and civic leadership, and so Kiwanis awards that student with a $50 gift certificate. So we want to turn it over to Mr. Pat Kaiser.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Patrick Kaiser. I am the president of the Kiwanis Club of Glendale. Tonight, I am here to recognize our final student of the month for the 2023 year. The reason this award is so special is this student has been chosen by the superintendent for their hard work, passion, and for helping others, and helping to make our community a better place. This month's winner is Emma Encinas. Emma is a 5th grade student at William C. Jack School. Emma demonstrates kindness and appreciation to all around her. When she steps off the bus, she makes a point to thank her bus driver for getting her and her fellow classmates to school safely. She makes an effort to help her classmates get off the bus and checks in on others if they look like they need a kind word. Additionally, she thanks our cafeteria staff at breakfast and lunch for meals that they prepare for the students. Emma also takes pride in the appearance of her campus and takes every opportunity to help beautify it without being prompted to do so, which is really good because I have grandkids that we have to prompt all the time. Emma goes out of her way to give anyone walking by a kind word or affirmation and ensure that she puts a smile on someone's face. She is the true definition of radiating kindness. Words from her teacher, Miss Saldana. Emma works hard in class and always values her learning. She is not only an active participant in class, she is always the first one to volunteer with class management. She is a hard worker and never gives up when something is difficult. Emma is such a joy to have in class. Congratulations, Emma. We have a certificate to recognize your hard work and a $50 gift card from the Kiwanis Club of Glendale. And we encourage you to keep up the good work. For anyone who would like to learn more about the Kiwanis Club of Glendale, you can go to our website at kiwanisclubofglendale.com or follow us on Facebook at Kiwanis Club of Glendale AZ. You can also come see us at lunch every Wednesday at Manuel's at 55th Avenue in Peoria. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to everyone. Thanks.
Thank you. Do you have your family? Come on up. Where is our Jack family and Emma's family? Come on up. Come on up. Congratulations. And Jack family. Enrique, we got two more coming. The Jack family. I'm going to go down to the end and you guys stand with her. Okay. There you go. Got it. Thank you. Thank you, Patrick. Also, I'd like to announce why Patrick is getting ready to leave. He comes to these meetings once a month, and he drives from Mesa. So thank you, Patrick. But also, I want to say today, Kiwanis dropped off about 7 or 8 huge bags of undergarments and sweatshirts and socks for our students. So thank you so much. We appreciate it. Thank you. And now we have another recognition. This is the first time we've ever had this recognition. And we would like to recognize Yaritza. She is a student at Jack, and she is the finalist in the Arizona School Boards Association first annual student artwork. And this is her artwork. Come on up. And we want to say thank you for choosing GSD, and you're such a fantastic artist. And I'm going to get over here and steal some chocolate for you. And you have family, so I'm going to steal some more chocolate for you. We're so proud of you. Your artwork was displayed at this ASBA conference where there were many, many, many hundreds of people there, and everybody stopped by to see it. I did put it on Twitter, and we are so proud of you and the work that you do. Continue to show your emotions and your feelings through your artwork. Truly an artist, so thank you for being here. And we want to honor you with chocolate. Just don't get it on your artwork. Thank you so much. Let's have family. I know family's sitting there. Come on up, family. And Jack family, show your artwork. We'll give the family the chocolate. There's enough for everybody. All right, and Jack, why don't you stand next to her? Thank you. And of course, we thank our wonderful art teachers and related arts people who allow our students to express their creativity. So thank you so much. All right, we have one more celebration. It's the monthly student attendance, and we started that. And each month we present the school, the traveling trophy, to the school that has the best student attendance. And the idea is you keep the trophy until you lose the trophy, and then you pass it on. So this month, for November's student attendance, goes to Discovery again. So thank you, Ms. Size, for you guys keep rocking it. It's a repeat. It's a three-peat. She's going for the trifecta plus. All right, so that's all that we have down here. Thank you.
So she already left, but when we walked into the ASBA conference, her piece of art was the very first thing we saw before we even got to the registration table. It was the absolute first thing that everybody saw when they walked in the door. So That should be a place of honor. She did a great job. We saw it, and Monica recognized, hey, I know that art, because we saw it in the back of the boardroom the last meeting we were at. So congratulations to her. Moving on in our agenda, we're moving on to the consent agenda. Are there any comments or statements before we adopt the consent agenda?
Yes. Pursuing what we heard in the public comment, I'd like to see item J from the consent agenda pulled. It is, we do want to make sure we meet the concerns of teachers and making sure that this is a good item to pass.
Are you asking for it to be pulled from the consent agenda altogether, or pulled for separate discussion?
For discussion.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Do we need a vote for the splitting?
No, just a motion, right?
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda, setting aside item J.
Okay. Mr. Jaramillo, how do you vote?
Second.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is there a second to pull item J for a separate discussion?
I second.
Okay. Sorry, we just need to make sure that we're all squared away. Mr. Jaramillo, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Wilson, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Pimentel, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Bartels, how do you vote?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. All right. Looking at consent agenda items minus item number J, items A through I, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Oh, I thought that's what we just did.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
So now we're going to just discuss.
I've been driving for 5 hours today, so I'm a little road weary.
Are you saying we should have switched
Yes,
roles today?
yes. Okay, so, sorry. All right, so just item J then. Comments or remarks?
Yeah, I'd like to, I guess, am I able to bring someone up to speak again, or is that?
No, not at this point.
No.
All right, well, one of my questions is, how are we making sure that our own staff is satisfied with the concerns that we just heard from the public comment with regards to the privatization of public schools and inviting this entity onto our campus? Does that make sense?
Are you directing the question to the district in particular, or are you just asking a general question at this point? Because I mean, these are items that we have previously discussed, and as far as privatization of anything, we have a number of private entities that we already work with for things like the system of care.
Sure. So I guess what I'm asking is, with this entity onto our campus, and when they hire folks, is it going to be comparable to, do we have any say? Oh, we don't.
There's a lease agreement, so President Martinez, if I may, it's a lease agreement, just like we have lease agreements or memorandums of understanding or intergovernmental agreements with other entities. So we're leasing the facility. We agree to what's in the facility. What they determine as are you asking who they're going to hire?
Yeah. So what if say we have some teachers of ours that quit our district and want to move on to this other entity,
That's always the teacher's choice. It's like when we have Head Start. We have Head Start on our facilities. If teachers choose or instructional aides choose to go, they can.
I apologize.
We don't. We're just leasing the facility. We don't control who they hire or who they accept or not accept. It'll always be an individual's choice whether they choose to remain in GSD or to go to this academy. I don't know what their hiring practices are. I do know because it's coming from, an outside agency that's not part of Arizona retirement system, that teachers probably are not going to give up their retirement system. They could.
Sorry, I'm running on 2 hours of sleep. I'm reorganizing my mind. Here's my question now. I just rethought of it. So So when we invite this entity, what are the benefits of inviting this? I know we've had the meetings, but for public information, what's some good things that would happen with this lease agreement? Like, what are some of the bonuses? What are some of the booms we'll see, with regards to preschool students coming in, and us potentially capturing them? Could you elaborate on that?
Sure. The purpose of why we were interested in this lease agreement is because currently we know that we want to offer the opportunity for every child to attend preschool at no charge. With the district, we have several preschool different grants that we have and so many slots that were allocated through the state. So with that, it's always been our concern about those children who may not meet those qualifications that don't get into preschool but still should be given the opportunity to have a quality preschool education. It's also, for us, we hope that it will obviously better prepare our preschool children for the community, as well as give us an increase in enrollment, because if we don't service those preschool children, they could go to other districts and receive services. And the goal is to keep those students in that preschool program, as we do ours, and enroll them into our kindergarten program. So it's also used as a marketing strategy.
That's perfect, because I do have experience with working with preschools. Well, my partner working with preschools, and she tells me about the wait times for the wait list for students. So you're saying that this is probably going to be another mechanism to capture those students to prevent them?
Yes, and we do know, and I'll speak very familiar with Head Start and with our programs too, sometimes the frustration with parents is that the wait time it takes, and meanwhile their child is not getting the services that they need, and if there's some type of delay, it just delays the service that a child can get. But this will give not only children, we are required by state law to service any child that's identified with a disability for preschool once they turn age 3, but also this gives typical children an opportunity to receive services as well.
And does this lease agreement cost us a lot of money?
No, it's in the lease agreement there.
I know, but
the benefit, it's in the agreement. The benefit, what we have in there, Bezos is the return is much greater, what their contribution is than what ours is. And I'll always support whatever is better for this community and for children. It will also better the services that children get, and then makes them better prepared when they enter kindergarten. But what Bezos can provide, if you want to look at it monetarily, is far more exceeds than what we provide.
I think those are my questions for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Jaramillo.
Is there a motion to adopt item J off the consent agenda?
I'll motion to adopt item J from the consent agenda.
I'll second.
All right, Mr. Jaramillo, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Wilson, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Pimentel, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Bartels, how do you vote?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Thank you. Moving on into our agenda items, our first action item, policy revision and second reading. Ms. Segarra-Jones.
Yes, President Martinez, members of the board, you have in front of you the second readings for policies BCB, BDA, BE, BEDA, BEDB, EBC, IHA, JFA, BDA, JK, JKD, JKE, JLH, LH for second readings. Are there any questions or concerns you have?
These are the same from the last meeting, right?
Yes, they are.
This is our second reading.
And then if we have any questions about something outside of this, it'd have to be in its own.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Then I have no other questions.
Is there a motion to adopt the second reading of the policies?
I'll make a motion to adopt the second reading of the policies listed.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Jaramillo, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Wilson, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Pimentel, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Bartels, how do you vote?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Thank you. Moving on, second action item, expenditure budget revision for fiscal year 24. Ms. Segarra-Jones.
Yes, President Martinez, members of the board, at this time I'll turn it over to Mr. Berrigan.
Mr. President, members of the board, Superintendent Segarra-Jones, I'm going to go over the budget revision that's required by statute. And you're going to see perhaps some of the strategies that we've implemented to kind of get through the next several months. And we can discuss that here further in detail should you want to take it that deep. But what we want to showcase is really what we call the average daily membership, the ADM. It's really the students that are attending our schools. What I want to point out is the yellow with the black line, if you will, the black border, the 2024 adopted. We built the budget on 8,323 students. You can see that when you take it to the revision of the prior year, it was 8,724. We kind of assumed about a 4% drop in enrollment or in ADM, but the numbers that are reflected in this budget is 8,124, which is 600 students less than where we were on the budget that we revised in May. That's pretty significant. Again, we only budgeted or anticipated about 4%. It's closer to 7%. And that's pretty significant. And what we wanted to showcase, when you look at it, it looks like a darker gray. We had pre-pandemic numbers. Do you remember before the pandemic, we had this, Rick Bramer would come and he would talk about the demographics and the enrollment and the capture rate. Pre-pandemic, we never ever envisioned that the ADM would be below 9,005. And just think about it. Just let's go back several years, and then we were trying to target 2028, 2029. When you look at the most current information, the ADM is lower than what we predicted prior to the pandemic. Now, you take the percentage that he had identified in his report and you apply that, those numbers will change, and you're talking about potentially, and it's going to be greater when you push it all the way through in that 7,500 range by 2029. So that's pretty significant. So that should be an ongoing concern for us, because while we're appreciative of the November election, when we take 4 steps forward, we're taking several back, and you're seeing it here. And we're going to show you what we've done to try to absorb that. This is just a comparison of the prior year, the adopted, the revision, and then the adopted to this year's revised number 1. So in the end, you're going to look at the adopted 70.4 million, 74.5 million, and then you see this spike of 75.6. You automatically think, well, we're ahead 5 million. That's not the case. We're going to walk you through why that's not the case in just a second. I also want to talk about the unrestricted, because this is going to come together here in a minute. So you see that we were 70 million-ish. We jumped to 76.5. But when you jump to capital, do you see what happened, even if you look at the last 2 columns? And here, this might make more sense here. It's small, and I do apologize for that. But what I want to point out is this number here was the adopted. That number is 59.7, 59.8 rounding. When you look at the revision, it's 57.5. That's a significant decrease in revenue. So we're 200 students less than what we projected. You're seeing that decrease there. We're also decreasing in the M&O override, because your M&O override is 15% from this number. So as that number drops, this will drop. So you see what's called the revenue control limit, that decreases. The M&O override decreases by about $500,000. So you're hitting $3 million. Had nothing changed, we'd be in a better spot, right? You're $3 million ahead. The carry forward, remember we talked about this in October, that number would increase. And really it's because we've taken the federal dollars, or ESSER 3, and used those to continue the continuity of service. So we've moved expenses out of M&O, put them in ESSER, which increases temporarily the money's back into M&O, and you're seeing that there. This here, there was a one-time allocation by the legislature of $300 million statewide. Our portion of that was about 2.4 million. And if you recall in the adopted budget presentation, We said we're going to tuck that money away just in case enrollment is greater than what we projected. And we thought it would be a bigger decrease than what we projected, but never 3%. What we were forced to do is move this money from what we had in capital, put it in M&O so that we could function, right? You just don't lose $3 million and absorb it. It's going to come from somewhere. And so you might see what appears on the surface as an increase, but we took from capital to try to make that whole. And so in the end, we're $3 million less. This is the capital example, or side by side from the adopted to the revision. So again, it was just 13.3, it's 9.5. And we took that from two departments. And I don't mean to open those wounds, but they had to take it out. We had to take it from them so that we could, move towards a balanced approach. DAA is calculated at about 4.8 million. It was fully restored in 22, and it was based on the prior year's number. You can just see from what we revised the budget to actually what the ADM was calculated following by the Department of Ed, it's about a 10-student difference. And then just, we want to make this point time and time again that the legislative reductions during the recession was about 42 million, and then about 39 million would have been specific to capital. These are just some of the things to keep in mind as we hit January 1st. The minimum wage increases from $13.85 to $14.35, and we believe that's going to impact about 275 positions, which is about 171,000 between, I believe, from January 1st through the end of the year. And just things that we're going to have to take into consideration is, inflation can continue to rise, and what impact will that have on the district's operations. That decrease in enrollment, it's increased competition as well. That's at $3 million. I mean, that's tough. $3 million. Just to give you an idea, when we were doing the school closures, we had it on average calculated that it was about $3 million of M&O monies that was used to function or to operate a school. So think about it, right? You lose $3 million, and the average operations of a school from M&O only is about $3 million. So think about it. There's like $3 million gone. That would represent one school being gone, right? We've got to continue to identify other areas of efficiency, continue to monitor those expenditures, and then continue a robust marketing plan. And I think, as the superintendent just mentioned on the previous item, we have to do things differently to attract students, attract families, so that we think of the long game. We have to think about the long game, whether it's in this budget or any other document. That information is available to you to look at, to understand, to identify the pros and cons of those. So we would encourage you or anyone in the public, so that when we have an agenda item, look at the budget, go through that, because it's there, and we can guide you through that. And that's what we're hoping to do here this evening. The other piece that I think that's going to be a challenge for us with the decrease in enrollment that we're seeing, to the extent that we're seeing it, and where we are as a state with what is being projected as of at least the last comprehensive report that I remember from the Joint Legislative Budget Committee, is that the state is looking at a budget deficit, and it's projected for this year and potentially next year. So if you think that the state's in a $400 million budget deficit this year and next year, that also tells me, right, just naturally, that revenues into the state are lower. Well, what does that mean for sales tax revenue? If sales tax revenues decrease, the classroom site fund, or what most people know as Prop 301, is going to decrease. To what level? I don't know that yet. The JLBC, I believe, will have that at the end of March. So if that per pupil amount decreases, and it decreases significantly, right now it's in the $700 range per kid, per student, and you're seeing a significant decline in enrollment, it's a bad combination. So revenues, everyone should expect that revenue to decrease significantly. That's typically in those funds, or in that fund. And then ESSER 3, I'm going to continue to mention that. Without those federal dollars, this district could not continue to function. And that's an important piece, because nothing that the state did as far as trying to address or provide additional monies would have helped to the extent that the federal dollars had. So Mr. President, members of the board, I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
All right, thank you, Mr. Bradigan. Is there any questions from the board? All right.
Okay, thank you.
Seeing none, is there a motion to adopt the expenditure revision?
I'll make a motion to adopt the 2023-2024 expenditure budget revision.
Second.
All right, Mr. Jaramillo, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Wilson, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Pimentel, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Bartels, how do you vote?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Thank you. Moving on, future meetings and events. Ms. Sagata Jones, we are at the end of 2023. What's going on in 24?
You'll see the
Microphone.
We'll see in the next January meeting, which is on January 11th. We will, my computer just rebooted, so let me look at yours. We do have the, well, of course, the organizational meeting, and then the employee student discipline hearing procedures will be presented by Dr. Lafitte, and hearing officer list that we need to take annually will be presented at that time too. So we are on track for that. And then also in January, if a special meeting, Ms. Valdez, we are on track for employment certificates and assignments. Is that correct, Ms. Valdez?
Yes, Ms. Gata Jones, we will be bringing the contracts, the January meeting, with the salary tables as well.
Great.
All right. Thank you. Are there any questions or comments regarding the future meeting setup?
Can I just ask for, and this can be in the board update, we just received the information about how much we've spent annually for ASBA. Can we get a report on whether those services can be offered by other entities? Because I know in the past they couldn't.
Sure.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Moving on in our agenda, our current summary of current events. Ms. Sagata Jones.
Yes, I do have a video. I want to show that in a minute, but first of all, I want to do some other announcements. We received an email that the district sign-up challenge winners were announced, and Glendale Elementary School District was one of the first 6 districts to fully register all schools for the Read Final Four, and we're placed in a drawing to win 50 tickets to the men's Final Four and Fan Fest. So we're excited about that. And at the ASBA conference, Burton School is rocking it and was announced there. Where's Burton at? They were announced as leading it. So, Mr. Estes, thank you. And we celebrated them earlier in the week. So very excited about that. And then also we did receive notification, that from Maricopa County School Superintendent that we are happy to recognize Ms. Angelique Size. She is a semi-finalist for the Maricopa County Exemplary Principal Award. And it reads, following an in-depth application and data review process, you have been selected from more than 1,200 principals in Maricopa County. Your leadership is distinguished by evidence of increasing student growth, retaining teachers, and cultivating a supportive and collaborative culture of high expectations. Your commitment and dedication to your students, staff, and community is to be commended. She will move to the 3rd phase, which is a video conference, and that will be scheduled between January 9th and January 23rd, and we could not be more proud of Angelique. So. And then next, we do want to go into a video. I do want to say there have been a lot of wonderful events, school events, and that we've been able to attend. We had the Related Arts Day a couple Saturdays ago, so special thank you to all of our Related Arts teachers who helped put that on, as well as they worked and partnered with all of our Mosaic Club staff, and it was an incredible result. The community still talks about that, and it brought a lot of footsteps, down into the community, which they were pleased with. And then last Saturday, we were able to participate in the hometown parade, and as you saw on Twitter, and it was announced that we did win first place in the best community spirit. That's why we're wearing our Weave It shirts and taking pictures, and very proud. So anybody that participated in that event, whether you were there that day or supported it. Please know how much we appreciate your support, and it was a fun day and a great day. So with that, we're just going to capture some of the things that have been happening since we last met. And Adriana, our Director of Communications, is attending one of her own children's school events and isn't here, but she gets full credit for this work.
Ho, ho! Happy Fourth of July! Merry Christmas!
So those are some of the events that we've had. We also have received last week 248 third grade students in our district. We typically go to Ames Ranch. They took a break from Ames Ranch this year, but 240 third grade students did receive all the same things they would have got if they went to Ames Ranch without the carnival experience, but just bags full of toys and special treats. So we appreciate Ames Ranch for doing that. And we also are in the process of doing on Monday our Adopt a Child program, so we're excited about that. So with that, that does conclude my report. I do want to say thank you to everybody for your hard work this first semester. It is a great organization, honored to be your superintendent. Incredible work that you do every day, and I know it's hard work. And but we come back every day, and it's what we always make decisions in the best interest of our students. As you saw, I'm very excited about our new partnerships, but also I think the parade what I like about it, I am an early childhood background, so I always like the little ones, but when they say, here comes our future, they really are our future. All of our children are our future, and you do an incredible job as teachers and administrators, support staff with our community. So thank you again. I hope you have a wonderful holiday. Be safe, enjoy your family, your friends, and take time to enjoy just your own space and your own time. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Moving on to governing board report, starting at the end. Mr. Jaramillo, how's your holidays so far?
Pretty good. I guess we took my baby to the Phoenix Zoo lights, and he was just enamored by all the lights. I had a chance to visit New York and do some work with some elected officials, and that was pretty fun. I don't have much. I'll keep it short.
All right, Ms. Wilson.
I just would like to say that the parade was really a lot of fun, and all those that worked on the float, thank you so much. It just turned out great, and it was fun being inside for a while. Also, I wanted to thank all the related arts teachers for everything that you did for the celebration of the arts, and I want to do a special call out to the music teachers band for the programs that you have been putting on for this season. I know you start early, because I used to start early. And it is a lot of hard work, and it's hard getting the kids there at night and, in the afternoon, getting the parents to bring them. So I know you work very hard, but all in all, the programs are terrific. So thanks to everyone, and I just hope everyone has a wonderful holiday and be safe.
All right, thank you. Ms. Pimentel.
So since the last time we were here, we've all been pretty busy. And one of the things that we got to participate in was the turkey feast at Challenger. And there is really nothing more rewarding than good food with great company and our community really showing up. So I want to thank Challenger for putting that together. That was just the looks on the families' faces and moms coming through happy that they don't have to cook tonight. And that was just wonderful. So nothing better than that community feeling. I'd like to thank the dual language teams for presenting at the Arizona School Board Conference. Y'all blew everybody out of the water, and I was approached many times about how wonderful our program is. And I don't have to sell it. You guys do all the work, so I want to say thank you, because it was such a great presentation. And you're showing how much it works with our kids. The Glendale Hometown Parade was amazing. As Board Member Wilson said, to everyone who does all the work, thank you. And to the American Elf Junior kids, wow. I mean, our kids are talented. They were amazing. I can keep going on, but at this point, I just want to say Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa. However you celebrate, please be safe and enjoy each other.
All right, thank you. Ms. Bartels.
Shout out to Adriana, because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't see what happens behind us in the parade. Like everybody has said, very, very full calendars since Thanksgiving on. Anything from seeing the little ones from the Family Hub celebrating a Christmas party to performances from our students and the energy of the teachers that are like getting them up there in front of all those very proud parents. It's always a very hectic, but such a rewarding time of year. I'd just like to, we still have a little bit of time left to go before we're on winter break, but thank you all for everything you do, and just enjoy the time with family and friends, and be safe. And if we don't see you before the end of this fiscal, 2023, we'll see you next year.
All right, thank you. Yes, in spirit of Brenda, ditto, and ditto. It has been an amazing month, and there's been a lot of things going on. It was great being in the hometown Christmas parade, but I think I'm more excited about, I got to cross off my bucket list, getting into a giant snow globe. And Cindy says, hey, let's get into the snow globe and take a picture. And I'm like, hell yeah, let's get into the snow globe and take a picture. Heck yeah. And, oh yes, heck yeah. And no one broke anything trying to get in and out of that snow globe. It's a little bit harder than you might think it is. So it was a great time. And to echo Ms. Pimentel's sentiments earlier, the presentations that our staff put on at the ASBA annual conference, by far the best presentations that they had on that slate for anybody, and any other presentation I went to. I mean, I remember talking to Monica. I was like, I really haven't found anything that I learned anything from. I haven't found anything exciting. But all the feedback I heard, I didn't get a chance to go to dual language presentation. I heard that one was amazing. I went and saw the presentation on the system of care. That was very well done. That was amazing. So thank you to all our staff for putting forth the best possible image of our district and what we do here. So, and with that, only, 5-6 days left of school? And then you guys get to go on break. So enjoy it. Have a great time. Relax, recharge. We're making tamales this weekend, so I'm hoping a lot of you are getting in on that tradition, so enjoy yourselves. But with that, that's all I have to add. So, moving on. In lieu of the normal adjournment, at this time, the governing board will consider voting to recess the regular meeting in order to convene to executive session for the following purpose. In accordance with ARS 38-431.03A1, for the purpose of conducting the superintendent's performance evaluation. Is there a motion to adjourn to executive session?
Do we want to just go ahead and read both of them and do one motion for both? Yeah. So then we want to do, just read off the information for 9B and then.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. I'll do it. I'm sorry. Also, in accordance with ARS 38-431.03A1, for the purpose of discussing regarding the superintendent's performance-based pay for the 2022-2023 school year.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we recess the regular meeting for the purposes of both 9A and 9B as stated.
I'll second.
All right. Mr. Jaramillo, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Wilson, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Pimentel, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Bartels, how do you vote?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. We are now in executive session. You all have a nice evening.
I don't know why it does that.
Taking my cookie.
There's more cookies in there, too.
I'm going to eat those cookies too?
You can eat those. Yeah, because that's a different flavor in the other room. Different flavor in the other room. Hector has my place. I need to make sure you get that.
Is that it for me? Welcome back. Is there a motion to reconvene to public session?
I'll make a motion to reconvene public session.
Second.
Mr. Jaramillo, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Wilson, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Pimentel, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Bartels, how do you vote?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. We are now back in regular session. Moving on to action item number 11A, Superintendent Performance Pay.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve what was discussed in executive session.
Second.
Mr. Jaramillo, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Wilson, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Pimentel, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Bartels, how do you vote?
Aye.
And chair votes aye. With that, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Have a great evening.